Hello, everyone.
Hello? Yo? Wait, is Jed back?
Oh no.
Damn, I'm not even here. So true.
What's
All
up? What's
right.
You
up?
imagine I just stayed silent, dude, the whole
No,
time?
no,
Oh, that's
no.
so funny. No, what's up, everybody?
Yeah. So,
Yeah, we're
welcome to
here.
the ninth
We're here with
episode.
yeah. Episode 9. Is this is we're pretty close to the end of season 2 if we're going by like anime format, you know?
Yeah. We're joined here today by Jed. Um, you want to
Say
say
hi to the
hi?
people, Jed.
Yo, what's up? What's up, everybody?
Yeah. They asked us to do that in case like they want to identify us by voice. So,
Oh, yeah, hey, I'm Chad. So true.
Jed probably sounds the most different out of the three of us,
yeah.
I will say.
What
But
you
yeah.
trying to say,
Yeah.
Renge?
That's good.
What
What?
you trying to say,
No,
Renge?
no, no,
Yeah,
no.
little. Yo,
No,
someone drafted Twit longer on Renge. I am
Yeah.
tired of Renge.
El Documento.
So true. No.
You know what? That's fair.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Uh,
mean, on the stream it has our. Okay, I'm Jed. I'm Jed. It's fine. Yeah. What's up,
for our
everybody?
audio only audience, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Which is
Yes.
me and Alcazar. So
That
true.
is so true.
But
But
yeah,
yeah.
we got a couple topics to get into today. But you know what? Let's tell us how you've been, Jed. What's been going on around the Jed block?
You had your
Well, my college career is almost over, so I've been a little focused on that.
it's good.
Um, and I've just been doing some toucher stuff in the background. I'm still writing a few articles for the TO Discord, even though I'm not even in it anymore. And I have a few other projects that we'll get to talk about soon, right? And of course my recent ban that happened to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all that's been going on pretty much. And then, the regular Team TSD uh
Doing Team
and
TSD stuff, but like not. I don't know. You've kind of been forced to take the back seat, which does suck. But
yeah, we'll talk about that on that. Oh, oh shit, I almost ruined the doc. Sorry. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, I'm also still helping Latam with the BTS server as well, in the background,
Yeah.
and all sorts of plans we still have going. So that's what's been happening with me.
so true.
So true. Uh,
Uh,
I mean, yeah,
I
you're
don't know.
almost out of college. I imagine you just kind of want to float out of there. I mean, like my like friends that are about to graduate, they feel like they can't really focus on school, but I don't know. Uh,
Yeah, I've always had the same tactic in college forever, dude. You just, like, I've seen if people ever join the image dump server, the best server in Tetris community, so true. Like you'll
Hmm.
know that my sleep schedule has been actually like nocturnal.
yeah.
Pretty much. Like I go to sleep at like 10 p.m. maybe like a 2 hour nap before class, and it's just how the way I operate. It's really, really bad for my health,
You've also
and
done
probably
some
really,
like 2 a.m. coaching streams or something, right? I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, for sure. Two to five, dude. I'm ruling
That
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 time space in the in
that's all
the
you.
competitive Tetris streaming environment. So,
Yeah, all five viewers, dude.
So
dude, all
true.
5 viewers, dude, it's just me. So true.
Um, yeah, I mean, I guess we can just quickly go over some other things that's been going on. You're working on this. This is public now, right? This the Player Wiki project.
No, this is the first time it's talked about publicly
Oh, my
here
I
in
bad.
this
feel like
Oh,
we
so
do a lot
sorry.
of like accidentally, not accidentally. We just like
no,
premiere
because
stuff. We just talk about it.
it'll be public soon. But yeah, there will be a Tetris players wiki, which is supposed to be essentially an esports wiki for now, at least for modern Tetris.
Yeah, yeah.
Though it will eventually encompass more and just Tetris, but general just block
Block
games,
stacking game.
puzzle games. You know, we're gonna have competitive Sudoku on that shit. You know, all
Yeah.
sorts of great stuff
Yes.
for for the community. And I'm still writing. I'm still doing a bunch of stuff for multiple players, but we will let you know more about that in the future. And yeah, it's a very exciting project because hopefully the purpose of the wiki will be to chronicleize what is the history of this game, which
Yeah.
I think everyone here knows is terribly documented. Terribly, terribly everything. And the reasons why will probably be discussed in another episode of Around the Block,
I don't know. I don't know.
hopefully.
Crazy, so
With
crazy.
any luck.
But I'm still trying my best to fit the pieces together in a very very broken jigsaw. It's like I probably have better luck looking for like ancient Babylonian fucking tombs, dude,
Yeah.
than this game's history. But with what we do have, I'm trying to write as much as I can. And and
I
yeah,
think
that's the players wiki.
it's a great project because
Yeah.
like the actual history is just it's everywhere, and then it's also like nowhere. Uh, and trying to get it all into one place is like a really really commendable and like really big project that you
Yeah.
decided to take on.
Yeah, and it's also really funny. Like I encourage anyone who has the hard drop forums open to just look up
Ah,
very old players posted, and it's just so hilarious, dude. There's this really funny first post by Firestorm, and everyone was he was okay. Firestorm was a really sweet kid, really really innocent, and he was like, any tips on socializing? Like
no.
he posted that on the hard drop forums, and people were like being so mean to him, dude. And it's like, what the fuck? Um, and then someone did the classic updog joke on him.
They really
Did they
got him with
actually?
up dog.
Yeah, and he actually looked it up, dude. He's a funny guy.
Oh.
He's such a sweet kid. I love FS. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's like part of the adventures that you go through. I saw Wumbo saying that four whiting is for scumbags, and you just find a lot of perspectives on that, and a bit of history, hopefully. So yeah, um it's a really really tough project in general, just for the sake of trying to find linearity on anything. And then there's like the great gap, which is not really a popularized term besides our friend group, I suppose. But hopefully I get to explain a little bit about how there's prolonged periods of time where literally nothing happens, just absolute nothingness occurs.
Classic nothingness in the Tetris community.
Classic nothingness, doing nothing, just little bit of decomposing. The classic decompose, die, rebirth. It's very similar to life in a Saharan desert, I suppose, more than a proper esports scene. But yeah, it's very interesting. And still, there's still a bit of interesting stories. There's a few storylines with the Japanese players who are also unreachable and uncontactable and unknowable as well, which is
I feel like you gotta
you
be
know
able to
I,
get like some Japanese person on your team.
I mean, you have to, but it's just such a like they don't even have a place, bro. Like there isn't a Japanese hard drop. It's just like Twitter. I don't even know what's going on.
Oh, I think you're getting dogged. But yeah, I guess that's I think this is something Jed's been pretty passionate about. We've talked a lot about how the things have been very poorly documented and people going through the thankless effort of documenting all of it. Hopefully one day
Yeah.
everything will be kind of put together enough on a wiki, enough for me to snipe the information or someone else and just make like a documentary video on it.
That's
Uh,
the dream.
yeah,
So true, so true. And then also it's like this weird thing where when I ask players questions, they just give me like straight up false information.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Like I remember asking Firestorm when he started playing, he's like, "Yeah, just 2015, casual." And then like his hard drop posts are like early 2014. And then it's like, "Oh, this guy's been playing forever actually."
I think
And then
it's like a there's some like pride in like improving more quickly than you did. I feel like everyone tries to report that they started playing a little later than they
oh,
actually
true.
did. Yeah.
I literally can't even remember when I started playing. I know
Me
I was
too.
at
Yeah.
least it was at least 2015, like at earliest, and then
Yeah.
latest, I don't know. But yeah, we be playing the game for nearly a decade. So true.
Oh my
Feeling like
God, that's
Blink.
awful. I didn't even think about that.
We've been here a
So
while,
true.
Yeah.
or they've been here a while. We are not
I think it's like
not of the same
three
age.
3 years for me at this point.
Yeah, no. I've been playing since like I haven't been playing early where it's like there used to be like crowns and shit, but I was playing like 1 year after TTO3 or something. So that's when I really got into it, into Hebomai and all those people. So
Yeah.
also Hebomai was insane. But you know who's even more insane? Ajamba's more insane actually, if you think about
Yeah.
it. He's probably the GOAT.
I think people like
Um
there was a time when people were just like or I only know this from like the Micro Blizz video on like TF history. But he was just like the Tetris friends. He was just the best at it. Like nobody questioned it. Is that true?
yeah.
Tracks.
Yeah, the thing about that as well, it's just I don't know, man. I don't even think it's very weird because everybody just has like these friend stories, and it's like, oh, you think you could write it somewhere? You think between these sparsely populated fucking hard drop posts, I'm gonna find anything of substance, dude? So, like I would have to ask Microbliss about more information,
Yeah.
but it's like, what do you even ask? What is there to ask about? So,
Tell me everything you know. Scan your brain
what type,
into this little chip and give it to me.
what type of question even is this?
Yeah, I love that Tetris history is literally it's like old civilization history. Like it's only stories passed down like from person to person. Nothing's ever written down until now. We finally
Yeah,
learned
it's
to like
it's
use
like
fire.
African traditions, dude, or some shit. I don't know for sure. But yeah, basically, I would say there's about 6 eras of Tetris history,
Yeah.
and that's like what I could tell because anything pre 2010 is like I don't even know where to find that shit. And
Yeah.
that's mostly around everything before the TTOs. It's pretty hard to find, honestly. And then we start into what is the known scene in around 2010 with TTO1, and yeah, between TTO1 and 3, it was a little bit of a golden era with activity and players and general skill level. But then after I think the departure of
TF.
Dan
Oh, no, that
Dan
guy.
Huang or something, or I don't know what his name was.
Is that guy that went
Daniel.
to like Liquid, right? Or something.
Uh, is he? No. That's Parkser.
Okay.
Well, Parkser went to CLG, not Liquid, I think.
I'm just
But
mixing
yeah,
up
that he was
misinformation. I'm sorry.
yeah, but he Parkster was on TTO2, not 3.
I see.
Um,
But yeah, I mean, I guess a lot more will be published as we go along. I'm glad y- you're like the grand historian of Tetris at this point. I don't know.
yeah, and then the great gap occurs, and there's a 3-year like death period. And Wumbo did like one tournament, and
Let's
he
go.
didn't even complete the fucking challenge on it, and he won't answer my DMs. I hate this guy. Um, and there's no archive of that either. And then after the great gap, we got the TTO 4 and 5, and even in there was like a 1-year gap. Like there's many gaps. How can we afford many gaps? You know, and that lasted for about 3 years, and then TF finale happened, which pretty much ended the Tetris Friend stuff. And then Dazer had the bright idea of starting Jstris Cup,
And here we
which
are.
was the Jstris era, which lasted about probably around 2.5 years, to maybe 3 for the most part, where it's like the main game until Tetris picked up a lot of steam, and the Tetris era is where we live now. Of course, there's a lot of gaps in here, like PPT stuff, which I'm not
Yeah.
even sure where to find information on that.
I feel like
And
surely some people are gonna have stuff on that.
yeah, hopefully. Um,
With any
so
luck.
Yeah.
yeah, so it's just trying to find the grand narrative somewhere, and then trying to just to slowly but surely add details here and there. For the most part, I'm trying to concentrate myself on individual players just to have a like a normalization of things
Yeah.
until I can, because like you know, once you start learning about the history of one player, then that opens up like something else for
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
else, and stuff like that. So right now I'm writing articles on Wumbo, on Firestorm. Um, I'm writing articles on Blarg, and
Yeah.
yeah, and a few other players. But for the most part, I'm trying to get a formulaic way of putting all the players together.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And I guess before we get into kind of the meat of what we wanted to talk about, do you want to give a quick statement on like why you got banned? I think maybe I don't know. I don't know how public it is why. Or
I mean, Osk made it public, so I don't.
us made it
There's
public.
yeah, you
Yeah.
put it on the TO Discord, which is a public Discord. So like, if anyone wants to see it, it's right there. But basically, I'm the admin for. Well, I was the admin for BTS, and I was making a new community called BTS Brazil, which is basically like the Portuguese version of BTS because BTS is in Spanish.
Yes.
So I plan the server maybe in December, and then we actually like got all the channels prepared on in late February, right? And we made the server public in like March 2nd, right? And so as a way to just, kickstart the server, I suggested a tournament be made and we organized it, right? And so since I don't speak Portuguese, I asked the staff there to write me a pasta that I could give to people since I don't speak. Um and what ended up happening is the for that tournament the staff took the pasta and they spammed it to 200 people, right? I maybe shared it with 5 people,
Yeah.
and that's what, and then 5 of us got banned, and like one of the people involved wasn't even a staff, and
Yeah.
so that's why I got banned. More than that, I want to talk about. I'll talk about it a little more. There's some very weird behavior from Osk where he came into the server and he first of all he called us idiots, which was, I guess that's understandable, but very bizarre. It's like, imagine if like you break a rule in League of Legends and like the president of League of Legends comes into your server
Yeah.
and
I don't
does,
know.
you know what I mean? And then he came into voice, and because someone was talking calmly to him, he also got like a little like mad or intimidated. Um and then he like already accused us of doing something wrong from the beginning, which is not really known or talk, and I didn't talk about it in the Discord. But yeah, that happened. And then he left the server. I made an appeal, and then I got like sanctioned. So
Yeah. And that part is
and
public in the TO Discord on like the details of that. But it
yeah,
basically was like you're not allowed to you're just not allowed to staff tournaments basically, right?
yeah, like I can't use my free time and labor uh for something I'm not even being paid for. I can't even do that anymore, which is like a really bizarre thing to do until April. And then BTS can't use banners until July 1st, I think.
July,
Um
July or June, I think. Something like that.
yeah, and with that I kind of had a little very negative reaction to it, and I just pretty much left all the servers I'm in besides Team TSD and of course Image Dump.
Yeah.
Uh and that's been me. Yeah.
I feel like we probably don't have enough context to really comment on it, but I guess it's good at least for people to hear your side of things. Um,
Yeah.
Anything you want to say, Renge? Or
It just kind of, I don't know. It just kind of sucks in
yeah,
the end that like I think the like having a punishment is justifiable. But I don't love what the punishment ended up being. But like it is what it is, and you can't really like do anything about it at this point.
there wasn't really any malintent. It seems like so. It's just sort of unfortunate.
I mean, there definitely was a little bit, considering that he said that. It's very weird because it's like I talk to the staff as much as I can, and like my communication's been very open. But then like once I get banned, they're like, and also we feel like you've been using us or something. You know what I mean? And it's just like if you do not like my behavior, then it's like I've never prevented anybody
Yeah,
from
like talking
commentating
about
on
it.
it.
It's
Yeah. So
yeah.
it's just I really didn't like that because like before it, like the ban was happening, I'm like, I understand it. We made a mistake, but then it's just you could tell. And then like even on the TO Discord, like he used like arrows and shit, which is really weird. Like he made it look like it
Okay.
was like a Tetrio announcement. Like I don't even know, bro. Like that was so strange and like a really bizarre way to present the info. But yeah,
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, like what's that even gonna do? Like
Mhm.
like what's like
Yeah.
causing like an uproar and all this shit? Like it's so unnecessary. Like most of my ban stuff ends in about 11 days, so
Nice. So you
we
can
just move on.
yeah. I hope you guys can return to good relations. Like just I think it'd make things a lot smoother with
Well, no, there's
organizing.
insane consequences to it because I left BTS, I left a lot of servers I was helping out, so and I'm not intending on returning to any of them.
All right.
Um, so yeah, like hopefully like the Latam scene is fine as well, but for the most part, yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, that's a bit of a downer, but I guess I don't know how to segue. We're gonna like
We're gonna talk about.
fake yell at each other for like 30 minutes now. Um.
we
You
we
Uh.
didn't
had
talk
an.
about Tetra Cup.
Oh, we
Oh
can't talk
yeah.
about
I
Tetris
was
Effect.
just gonna ask you like how your Tetris Cup run went. Just like
Oh, Renge seated me like shit. I'm just
No,
joking.
no, 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 no. Hold on.
No,
Is this started the argument, the arguing section?
no.
nah nah.
First of all, like I don't know about OJ like making descriptions on Latam players. Like I don't know. We have a whole like competitive list, Reg, that you could consult. But anyway, I couldn't staff that tournament, so I didn't really talk. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
yeah, that was like definitely like Audrey seeding Abu, OV. I think Mayas like we haven't updated the list to make Mayas higher, but Mayas is definitely like such a strong force
Dude,
now
I
for
was
no
I
reason.
was fighting. I was fighting for Mayas.
Yeah. Well,
I was fighting for the folks, dude.
the results will show, right? So
Yeah, for sure.
over time, especially.
But how did your run go?
So here's like okay, I beat a bunch of like who megas, right? Like I don't,
Okay.
like people we
Yeah.
don't know. I almost lost to this like 13-year-old kid who's
How
I
did you
forgot
know
what
he
his
was
name was.
13?
Because he had a stream and I looked at it
Oh,
and he's down to 13.
Okay. Did you? Was he good, or is it just a choke?
I had a 6-2, and then uh I almost choked it, but I closed it out 7-5.
Sick.
And on my next choke, I ended up fighting Kez, and I was up 6-4 against Kez, and then I just choked away three
Yeah.
games and lost 6-7.
Kaz is good. Kaz is good.
And then after that, I beat another two Omega Lows. I almost choked against Cold Eggy Man because I was being interrupted by my family, dude. I swear to God, he called like everybody in my house. He activated my dog, like loud music, like everything, dude. Every stimulus possible. Cold Eggy Man had to do something about it. Like I just can't believe that
That's
he wasn't coordinated with the New Jersey government.
that's
To drill.
macro. That's macro.
But seriously, I almost lost to Cold Eggy Man 7-6. Um, in a very terrible set by me. I had like
Yeah.
300 lines difference between him, like up, but I was just like, I would play like maybe like a 10-second round. I made a huge misdrop and then I die,
I mean, that's
which is
still
a
pretty cool to
classic
see.
for me.
Still pretty cool to see Cold Eggy Man. He was a UCer, you
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have never forgave myself if I lost that. Not gonna lie, so I'm very glad I didn't
Raise
lose
your hand if you ever lost.
to
for
a
sure.
UCer.
Um, but yeah, and then after that, I ended up fighting Cab, who got upset by Frostfire somehow, and then he swept me. Bro, I played like 150, 400 verses for a minute 30, and he didn't die. Like, what am I supposed to do, man? Like, what am I? I'm old. I'm 22. So true. I'm
These
old.
old
Like,
bones can't take it
So
anymore,
old.
he
just
says.
So old.
die. Just die. So,
Yeah. Now Cap's been getting insanely good.
Yeah,
but
Cab got.
yeah,
I'm surprised that he lost against Frostfire, honestly. And then he won like 7 sets in a row, and then he got third.
Yeah.
yeah, that was just a conspiracy theory to beat me, dude. So true. So true. So
Yeah.
true.
Cold Eggy Man. Phoning him up.
Hold Eggy
Still
Man.
like
Hold Eggy Man
I
had a
got
grudge,
I got
dude.
5 gift subs with your name on it. If you tank this match to Frostfire and destroy Jed. It's just
So true. The fucking Cold Eggy Man, dude. Uh, but yeah, it was a fun tournament. I really liked it, and for once I got
just play.
to to play a Team TSD event. Yeah.
It's really
Also, shout outs to Edge for running stream.
Yeah,
yeah.
he
I
did
just
do
kind of like
that.
it's like Team TSD and PK and like MMC are like all like the same
That's what I'm saying. We're
organization at this
literally like,
point.
we're, things are pretty much all the same on the back end.
Um,
It's just on the front end they kind of look different.
Slightly different, not that different.
Dead
Still
ass.
looks good though. Still looks good.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
All right. Uh, Now finally we have our what I wrote in the title, but I think I might rename the title at this point. This is just good to catch up. So I think it's episode 5. We had a little thing inspired by your tweet, Jed, where we just kind of came up with some topics that Renge and I don't really see eye to
Don't
eye on,
really agree on.
because we're usually pretty civil and or have similar views as well. And so we're trying to revive that. And I know
I
Renge has represented some of your views on some of these, and I don't know. We're gonna retread some of
Definitely. He
these
was
old
like, well,
topics.
what Jed said. I'm like,
well,
what
like,
the hell?
hey,
Can you shut
hey,
up?
that's why
Just
you're here. That's why you're here,
so
okay?
true.
All right. So we'll open up big with LST versus freestyle, and I'm just confused on definitions here. I think that was the big thing we got confused
Yeah.
on.
First of all, let's get a little background
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah,
this.
yeah.
Maybe I'm not sure if you
Is
guys talked
FS
about it.
Ultra freestyle?
Let's talk about this. First of all, it was a late night on Image Dump VC, and we were all just chilling. And
Yes.
then Firestorm or me were playing Ultra. I think it was me. I was playing Ultra. And before that, I had been looking at Rivi's recent score.
Yeah, yeah.
I had like this insane ultra run where he went like 5-4, 6-3, 7-2. And then I saw Firestorm's joint, and I was like, "Yo, Firestorm!" I was
This is
like,
Tetris
"Yo,
Melee, right?
how do you?" No, no, this is definitely Image Thumb VC, I think.
Doesn't
Um,
matter.
Anyways, continue.
and then I was like, "Yo, Firestorm, how do you feel that Rivi has the freestyle ultra world record, dude?" And he just got like, I just activated a neuron. I just some electrons were passing through his brain from that comment, and he was like, "What do you mean, man? I'm always freestyle." And I'm like, "Look at this." And then I had to pull out the stream, and I'm like, "Look at this, man. This looks like a formula. Where is the free in this? This is costly, actually. This is free as in prison." And we just had like a whole argument about like he's not freestyle and that his 7-2 is like extremely mechanical. Um, and then we were also talking about how like PCs aren't really freestyle, but he's like, my PCs are actually freestyle because I'm like,
Oh my
I'm putting the
gosh.
pieces, but these guys are putting the pieces differently.
Yeah.
So,
There was
that
actually a
was that's
discussion about that on like how I guess between Rivi and probably like OJ in MMC. So they said it was like a number of like amount of setups used. And if you're not using a lot of setups, then it's like it's freestyle. But if it isn't,
right, right. And I'll admit that Rivi a little bit just wants to be like, yeah, I got it. Actually, everybody else, like a little bit, like if
okay.
you read that, a little bit, he's trying to be like that. Not gonna lie, but
Yeah. He deserves it I mean like that's Rivi.
oh, so you are so what are we arguing about? So true.
So we're
What are we?
arguing so that's the background, but the background is why do you okay. I don't even remember now that I think about it. We were just I think Renge was arguing something different. Is LST like is freestyle cooler than LST? This is I think what we ended up being
Yeah.
No,
arguing
no,
about.
no. You were arguing about how is this even freestyle, dude? You had a very particular attitude that you're not having now. I
I'm
remember
trying to
this
it's hard to get back into it.
like it was yesterday. You were like, "Look at this. What is this? This is like
Yeah.
this is freestyle." But
Yeah.
actually, if you
Okay.
look at the difference
I'll try and
between
like
Rivi's run,
I don't take some stimulants and I'll try and get more happy or more
the
angry or
problem is
something.
here's the first problem is that I can't like compare it anymore because Firestorm deleted his Jstris account for no reason
Okay,
because he
yeah.
just made a new one. Anyway,
So like okay, the closer you get to the center of the board, the more options you have for like your like more restricted one. So everything 7-2 is super restricted. 6-3 is also pretty restricted. So like if 7-2 is mechanical, I think 6-3 is also pretty mechanical. And then 5-4 is just like you decide between
no, the complexity of how mechanical it is like increases the more you fucking like have to change it. And like in Rivies, he goes to the bottom of his board like 2 or 3 times, and then he redoes the setup, and then goes to the bottom, and then has to refigure it out. In FS's run, it's just 7-2, 7-2, 7-2, LST, 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 ST stack, fix with a J, back to LST. Like, and then he maybe once or twice switches to like on the like he's doing 7-2 right on the left, so the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
two blocks are on the left. Maybe once or twice he switches to the other side of the overhang. But like, are we really gonna argue that that's like more
Wait,
freestyle?
so like the if someone does like 6-3 the entire time, is that freestyle or is that 6-3? Is there a distinction there? I feel like it's just
Um,
like 7-2 and then like LST. Okay, to
like
be fair, nobody does pure LST. I think by the like most pure definition of LST, where you're like really doing only that like LS JZ
But
thing.
is
Nobody does that.
LST with alt form still LST?
Yeah, just like
It is, right?
kind of. I think there's like the purest definition where you're like LS JZ only, right? But there's the less pure or like the more accommodating one where it's like LS only, right? So and then you can do the alt forms on the 7 stack. But
Here's what I would say: the
all right,
potential for impurity in 6-3 is so much greater than in 7-2, and it's even worse on 5-4, right? And
that's
just
true.
to add to Rivy's case, right? He did different setups. Like he
Yes,
switched it up a bit in his thing, and
I
that's like here's a real question. This is why I could understand you be like, Reg, you're so dumb, so true,
no
right?
no. Okay,
Here's the real question: how, like, at what point does it
yeah,
become, and it's like ice skating, you know what I mean? In ice
yeah.
skating, they're not like, oh, you did a quadruple axel 7 times, so
They do
therefore,
actually, but they also have some judges.
right. And they're looking at it, they're looking at the spins and like how they groove with the music and the
But it is
spins.
really
I don't
just
know.
like you can like spam a bunch of like quadruple spins and like suddenly you're the world champion or something.
It's mostly, I mean, I'll blame Nathan Chen for that. So true, destroying the sport. But um yeah, like on the old system, right? It was just people looking at it and be like, yeah, this is pretty legit. This had a lot of swag in it, you know? It's like dancing, you know?
Yeah.
This had a lot of swag. You know, Tetris is a dance. So true.
No. I
So,
kind of miss Microblast
um,
at this point. Not gonna lie.
it had a lot of swag. It had a lot of swag. So, um, if someone posts a run, right? Because first of all, on Jstris itself, there's not a freestyle subcategory. You know what I mean? So
So
someone
true.
has to claim it, right? And
Yeah.
then it is up to us, the judges, us, the people,
The people of the community.
to be like, you know what, man, this is freestyle. And then you look at someone else's shit and be like, man, this is some horse shit. You know,
I kind of want to do
that's
like a T-spin contest or something. You'd end up getting like Keyges more than you'd get like I don't know like Rivies, but you know.
true. But I'm just saying, like that's how we should think about it when we
Oh
think about
yeah.
freestyle and LST.
What do you think about? I guess like this comes into like 5 mil blast that Nico Nikoru in chat brought up. What is 5 mil blast freestyle?
I
No,
think
literally. Okay,
if
actually, hold on. I have some pages about 5 million
What do
blasts.
you
I
guys
think
think
it's
about
super
5 mil
funny
blast?
that the Jed, you didn't play much, but I did. I spammed it a lot.
played it once,
I did
yeah.
not play it a single time.
5 mil blast had Rivy at the top who did do freestyle. He like no setups. He was just like cooking the whole time. And then second place was QL who did loops, but he didn't take the PC. And then like the
Yes.
rest of the top 10 was basically all loops.
Good job.
And
Regret.
I
yeah.
feel like for the health of new players, 5 mil blast is a terrible mode. Like,
Yes.
what does it teach you? Oh, breaker back to back kids, dude. You know, like, and I did this on my stream. Someone was arguing with me, like, actually, it taught me more vision, and I'm like, what vision? What are you talking about? What did it
Yes.
teach you?
I don't
Um,
know.
but yeah, that's 5 mil blast is like it's probably the most as freestyle as it can get for a mode. Um, like under like just straight up Tetris rules, I would say. I didn't understand it, which is why I stopped playing it. Because I was going like 3.5 PPS and I was doing like the best LST of my life. And then it's like, oh, you got 5 minutes, dude, or like 4 or something. I'm like, okay, this
Yeah.
this mode's so stupid, poo poo.
Yeah.
And but yeah, like for the most part, I think 5 mil blast is, in a
Yeah.
way, it's kind of freestyle, yeah, for sure. But also in a way, it's not really what we're trying to talk about here
I'm gonna
with the
hijack
Rivi.
this. I'm gonna hijack this. I'm gonna use 5 mil blast as the reason why it's like repeatable pattern. Like LST is okay is can be cool. Or like can be cooler than freestyle in certain situations. Because in anything where you're freestyling, like jazz or whatever, like the way you get better is about finding yourself in the places you've already been in and like, you know, referencing things,
Don't
going
bring
back to
jazz
pattern.
into your psychotic argument.
Hey, hey.
Leave jazz out of this.
So there's theory to get good.
This man is adding jazz into this, man. Who's talking about jazz?
I don't
So
know, if you
true.
see just like pure like chaos, it's like that's what Five Mile Blast is supposed to be, and then people couldn't figure it
Just like
out, so they
Warzones,
just started looping.
just like
They started
Warfare,
looping
you
anyway.
train all day. So once you get to the war, it's kind of like you saying war is freestyle ors? Is that what are you saying?
uh,
Jazz is like Warfare
yeah,
ors?
yeah.
So
I don't
true.
know. A
Damn,
lot of things are like
I
a lot
can't
of other things. I don't know what to tell you.
I
Yeah,
can't
anything
argue
you
against that.
practice, it's just like you're just practicing.
There is no freestyle. It's all set.
Oh my gosh.
It's very true.
Maybe the real, I mean, honestly, the distinction is like super arbitrary anyways, but we're just trying to be assholes about it. So that's
Yeah,
where we
I
are.
can't even really figure out what I'm trying to argue, to be honest. Let's go to a
We have
different topic.
forgotten the
I
argument.
completely
So
forgot.
Go to a different
I don't even think we really disagree on this. Do you think UC coaching was a mistake? What do you think about UC
no,
coaching?
I think UC coaching is like a very simple and form of getting pro players to teach new people. So like on base, it's not a
Yeah.
bad idea at all. Um, Free coaching is good. I'm not sure why we should gatekeep knowledge behind a paywall, especially for people who will actually volunteer to do it. Right? You can
Yeah.
take UC as an example. I don't think that paid coaching is particularly any better
Yes.
than Wumbo coaching, honestly.
You know what?
Or Garbo coaching, necessarily.
My opinions
I
on
mean,
this have slightly changed, I think, because I read
yeah,
some stuff. So,
okay.
but you can finish your thought. You can finish your thought. Not just,
But yeah, but in general, I think it's been a great idea. I've implemented it in communities. It's helped a lot of people.
yeah.
So
Obviously, like me too. My start was just becoming like a UC coach. That was like my introduction to the community, or like really getting involved with the community. But thinking back on it, uh, it's not that it like I think it coaches are like a valuable service, and it's like I can see why it wouldn't make sense to pay a Tetris coach. I wish it did make sense, but I can see how it doesn't. But I think it just ruined how people like think they can contribute to the community. I feel like if you made a guide, it'd be like 30 times more valuable than like coaching a person. You know what I'm saying? Like I was reading a study the other day. It's just like it's about like how people like tend to get better at other esports or like practice getting other esports. It's some I have the numbers. I have a notes on this. Where uh wait. I have the citation. Help me. Whatever. It's something like 5% of people will look for coaching and like 70% of people will look for like to other players or online guides and resources. So we just like set free a bunch of people that were interested in helping out in the community, and we told them like talk with and VC with these people for like for like a bunch of time. And I just feel like it set a poor precedent. And I think even for especially for myself, like I just like got really burnt out doing coaching for like, and I helped like two people, or not like two people, like 10 people, versus like I only like really helped 10 people. Versus now I'm like making guides for lots more people, and I feel like I'm doing more to spread the knowledge. And I even talked about this in like my coaching retrospective, where it's just like it's so inefficient. Like what you need coaching for is not like, or what we used coaching for wasn't the best use of it. And I don't know. I think UC coaching is also kind of dead now. And then like once it gets like, I know there are plans to revive it, but it's like it'll be better. And I think it'll be more for like its intended purpose, where it's like you have a guy look at your thing instead of like, oh, what do I do? Or like we can point more to resources instead of re-explaining the same thing 50 times.
right, right, and then that's a great way to finish it. So first of all, in hindsight, anything, you know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like
yeah,
in
yeah,
hindsight, we can say that about literally any sort of project we make, right? Um, and in base, like still, the idea in base of pro players wanting to help people, in general is great. And that I don't think anybody argues against that. The like I feel like a real problem is the lack of guides, and also above that, like the real issue you're saying, like what you're trying to say is basically we could have made all these pro players make guides, but instead we made them do coaching. And it's just like if you really think about it, how many of those people would have written a guide? You know what I mean? And it's and you
yeah.
can't really know at all. Like you can't know at all if that would have really been the case. You're just supposing that that's a
Yeah.
precedent you set. Like you don't know that fucking that you cause all that shit
Yes.
in the guides. Maybe none of those pro players would have done anything. It could have been just as possible that like, oh well, I guess I'm just gonna keep doing 500 games of TL today, and that's it. So,
Yeah.
try to think about it more optimistically and be like, oh, actually, maybe I got someone who would have never done something into into helping, and
Mhm.
more than that, above that, above everything else, you're right. There should be more guides. Guides are way better than coaching for the most part. It's like you're not gonna go on any other game and be like, oh, hey, I'm new, I need help, blah blah blah. You're always just gonna go on
Yeah.
YouTube, be like, Tetris guide, T-spin guide, how to destroy noobs on my A rank game, and
Yeah.
stuff like that needs to happen. But it's like I feel like it's a bit of a stretch to be like, um,
I've been stretching this whole time. I'm just trying to find things to to argue about.
it's a bit of a stretch to be like, well, actually,
Yeah.
this has caused a lack of propagation of information.
Yeah.
It's
But before I continue, is there anything you want to say, Renge? I know like we tried this before, but my point this like my main point this time has changed a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I've fallen out of coaching a lot recently, just because I've been busy and shit. But uh, I think it's better to do coaching than to do nothing, which is largely where free coaching has been. Like, if they got paid and people still like did coaching, that'd probably be better, right? But I
Yeah.
think there have been more UC students than there have been uh like Wumbo coaching sessions, which is kind of telling in the amount of like commitment that people are willing to give to the game, especially
Who
when
knows?
they're early and they're looking for
Maybe
coaching as
Wumbo's
like
just
little
making
UC
bank. We
babies.
don't know.
Maybe Wumbo is making bank. You never know. Honestly, you never know.
Yeah.
Dude,
Uh,
Wumbo made like probably like 5-6K from prime time, dude. He doesn't, and he hasn't given a single cent back. But
doesn't he
a
donate
community,
occasionally? I don't know.
I don't know.
In a way, he helped with getting the Medify sponsorship. I think he like told Moose about it,
Yeah,
and I'm sure like if there wasn't a Medify coach on, there wasn't a Tetra coach
yeah,
on
that is
Medify,
true.
they wouldn't have considered us.
What's oh okay?
That's me vouching for Wumbo. I don't know.
That is
That's
true.
good.
Edge did tell me about this the one time. I
Yeah.
think. You know what? Maybe I'm also lying.
What? Okay, what was I gonna say? All right. I think it's like I don't know. It's more like a soft like culture thing to me. I feel like at kind of UC coaching's peak, every player who wanted it's not even just like top players. Every player who wanted to help out with the community was thinking like, how do I like become a coach? Like everybody who was like kind of good at the game decided like, oh, I want to contribute to the community. I want to become well known, so I want to become a coach. And it's just like it's just so weird to me. I feel like there might have been like if we had that much like positive
Well,
energy
if
for
only we had
like
that many TOs,
if
you
only we had
know.
that many TOs, if only we had that many like I don't know, like content creators or whatever. But I think I mean, that is definitely me kind of stretching the point and it's probably because coaching is honestly pretty easy to do badly.
Coaching's pretty easy to do like at a mediocre level.
Yeah.
Uh It's a lot harder to, and it's a lot more commitment to like TO at a mediocre level, or
Yeah.
like make content.
Yeah. There were a few people that kind of got inspired by Cab to like make tournaments, like from UC to make tournaments too, though.
Hmm.
That's kind of a little unfair to say.
Honestly, I also have to add this, like the content, quote unquote, bro, that would have been made, or is honestly, it's like people opening up PowerPoint and making like a
Yeah.
30-minute.
Oh my
But
god.
the
You
thing is,
know
it's
what I'm
like
saying? I'm
these
just
things like take time
No.
to incubate. You need if you don't make a video in the first place, you're never gonna get better at making videos. I mean, like I
it's
don't know if you've
true.
seen like it's just like the people that are good at video editing are in the community. Like I'm sure Edge just has like a ton of hours in like making random, I don't know, garbage like Minecraft videos. Like I did that. Um, and like that's how you practice, right? It's just like for the kids, like they're not playing. Their computers can't run Minecraft, right? So they're playing Tetris instead, so they don't get to make dumb Minecraft content. They have to
So
make dumb
me in
Tetris content.
2015, dude. But I mean, anyway, like honestly, if you look at Edge's videos, it's just like Dens but with a better thumbnail for now. And he's basically said that the Dens small fish meta has forced them to just do shitty.
Oh no, I meant like the stuff he did for the stackies and stuff, like the really
Oh,
like
that's
high
true.
production stuff. But yeah, I kind of hate the clips meta too. It just makes me
Edge,
sad.
even Edge hates the Clopes meta. I've talked to him.
So so
He's just
yeah,
like, damn, bro, forced yet again to post Tetrio content.
Yeah, I
Insane set against Selena Tetris
I have some
VTuber.
ideas. I don't want to really like spoil anything, but I want to destroy the clips meta somehow.
That's the
yeah,
dream.
for sure. It's
Yeah.
actually we're getting ratioed by clips meta because of a lack of documentary meta, which I will hopefully fix. Well, if
Yeah,
God willing, inshallah. So true.
yeah. All right, we're agreeing too much. Let's go to the next topic.
Let's find something we really don't agree on.
TKI
You
is
wanna?
overrated. You should always play TD openers because you can loop or you can accept, and that's the only two things you should ever do in this game.
So we're just lying now? Are we just gonna lie? Are we just gonna lie straight up? So true. Um,
What do you think to that? Why is TKI good? Do you think, Jay?
decide like first of all, like it's so low on KPP that it's probably like the fastest opener to do aside from
DT Cannon.
yeah, like literally it's like the fastest thing you can do. And if you're really like experienced with it, like you can loop it, like you can get into it like a easy PC with certain bags, or if not you can go into like I've had like 40-second 200 APM games. Imagine me 200 APM, so true.
You ever seen
um
Caboozled Pie do a little DPC at a
yeah,
absurd
yeah,
5
yeah,
PPS?
I've had to experience it firsthand. But the
Ever
thing
seen
is that
that before?
Cab's
Maybe
a
recently?
former world record holder, you know what? But like, if anyone wants to do an opener fast, they can do it. But for the most part, like TKI is so effective on just its ease of use and just how dynamic it is. On Fonzie variation, it's like super low, so like it'll help with
Yeah.
any like TD whatever because you can just absorb into return. Something that is very fucked up is stickspin. Of course, stickspin is like the king of TD openers. Unfortunately, just
Yeah.
how
TD is like Sixpin's like an early O opener. Like cuz
It's like a TD opener if you just like had back-to-back three,
yeah,
and then also you had
yeah.
garbage on the board
TD
for like
opener
for
is like
free.
Gamashiro. Because so part of the reason why like my crack like Gamashiro type openers are the best is because you can do them on every bag too.
oh, this is just a garble call opinion then. Oh, okay.
Is
Now
it?
I see.
Oh yeah.
Very
I
true.
guess it is now that I think about it. I completely
This is
forgot that that was the
just
thing.
a garble call opinion. Okay.
Okay.
Um. Yeah, I mean Gamu's decent, I guess.
All
But if I
right.
do like one, it's one line of garbage. Like bye
Yeah,
bye.
then you
Then you
receive it.
transition to mid game.
Yeah.
and you
and then it's
you
just
gotta
whatever.
figure some shit out.
Yeah.
And then TKI wins. If I do my T-spin faster than they can do their whatever, then
Yeah. What was this? Oh yeah, like, um, I think Q like I can't even really muster up too much steam against this with this point. I think QL said like there's like a soft rock paper scissors with openers where it's like TKI will beat the like the TSS openers because you get the 2 lines of garbage. TSS openers will beat the TD openers because you can't. The 2 lines will soft make your receive a little worse because you have to waste the first T. And like TD openers will beat TKI because you get the full clean receiving or loop potential. I don't know.
the openers just lose on all fronts pretty much. The only
I
thing
think
that wins at the end of the day is
Yeah.
PCs, dude. PCs just beats everybody. It's so sad. Like
Yeah.
if you mess up one time, you're just going to hell.com.
Yeah, it's just like an execution test. That's what a PC is. That's what loop openers are. It's very sad,
Hopefully,
dude.
a lot
And
of
there's no punishment
lot,
for them. There's literally, I guess, like a receive spike is technically a punishment for them, but it's like, I don't know. It
it's
doesn't
so
matter.
fast. It's so hard. Yeah, yeah. Hashtag nerf PCs, but that's
Yeah.
an episode for another day. So
anti
true.
PC
Yeah.
PC
I don't think we
gang.
can really disagree on on like nerfing
Anti
PCs.
PC
Yeah.
gang. So true.
Um. All right.
We want to get to this one.
So
This is my
we have
favorite.
Alright,
This
two
is like
big
something that
topics
me and
here.
Renge disagree on. This is very true.
Yeah.
this is a
We
very
haven't
this is
we
a,
have an
probably
we've
a,
already gone for an hour, so we can only probably choose one of these topics. Why
I
don't
want to
why
talk
don't
about the
you
X-Rank cap.
why don't you talk about whichever one you want?
Let's do rank
Jed.
caps. Yeah.
Rank caps. All right.
All
Someone
right,
else
All
let's hear
right,
your
fuck.
Someone
spiel.
else introduce them.
This is a year in the making because
So
this has been in
listen
his
It's
to
been a
head.
this,
year. Oh
right?
my god.
I'm the like, let's get it like this, man. My first tournament, right, was Revolution, the Revolution Jstris tournament,
Easy
right?
food.
And this fucking crackhead, Modest Tomato, opened the tournament with no check-in, dude. This is my first time staffing. No check-in, 300 people missing, right? And this taught me a lot about tournaments, right? So when I hosted my first tournament, Jstris Cup X, I'm like, all right, it can't get worse than 300 people. And then it's like, oh, some people, the United Nations needs to investigate the U.S. education system because some of these people don't know how to read. What's the literacy rate is a lie. 99% a lie. Um, and then I started thinking, you know, a lot of Asian players also can't play these tournaments because how early they have to start, because how long they are. So I'm like, what if we make just a cap? Like only pro players, only X ranks. And so that's my position, only X ranks, because it gives you a lot of benefits. First of all, no tickets pretty much ever. This is exemplified by Renge Evolution having no tickets. Very true. Because everyone just knows what to do. A later tournament because there's less players just naturally from the 1%er. And yeah, and also no complaining from people who lose to X ranks because everyone's X. You just can't complain because like you just lost to a player of your same rank. So it's like the benefits of UC, and then no restrictions on pretty much anything else. So that's my X rank only
Yes.
uh position, I would say.
And the key point which Renge disagrees on, or like we disagreed on in the past, is that you wanted that every tournament running this way would be
Yeah, what's up with
ideal.
that? You want every tournament to be like that? Every single one?
For the sake of things, we'll say he does.
Yeah, okay, you're taking this position, Jed.
I'm saying that there should be a higher quantity because we only have done one. Okay, that's the
I mean,
first
there have
part.
been a couple. There have been a couple. Like Tetra
Like
Olympic
what?
Master.
Okay, man, but
That's
Tetra
two.
Olympics just turned up. All right, and that's like an annual event, or I don't even know what's. But the reason why is that like there's so many amateur tournaments to go to now. If anything, we should be having like low X rank cap tournaments or something.
Dude, you're on some of
Um,
that cooking part.
because there's just such a this like we talk about like the UC. You know what UC syndrome is? Does anybody know what UC syndrome is?
Why don't
UC
you
Yeah.
give us an
syndrome
explain?
UC syndrome is people who never want to get out of their rank because they're so fucking scared of getting destroyed on the next tier of a competition. It's
That's
people
yeah.
who stick around in TAWS, never wanting to get SS because they'll never get another competition of a similar level. You know what I mean? It's people who stay in S minus just to maybe farm a UC out of RNG. You know what I mean? It's people like these that never want to glow up. And I feel like in U rank there's a ton of people like this who are just like, oh my god, the next tier of competition is fucking Firestorm and Reviclia and Blarg. Oh my god, I'm just gonna get destroyed. So this is UC syndrome. Does it affect a lot of people? I don't know. I'm kind of facetious. I'm gonna say yes. Um, so having X rank only tournaments, first of all, it creates a less heavy load for us to focus on other things, like production and just making sure everything runs more smoothly. In general, of course, it makes it later, so more pro players can join in. I know that Rivi doesn't really like playing tournaments because they start so early.
Yeah. He's retired.
Is he?
F.
Yeah.
Yeah. I asked him to play IO Cup yesterday, and he was like, no.
So true. I asked Blarg to play IO Cup. I had a
Also did
conversation with
I.
Blarg, and I was like, "Yo, like, cause we had a conversation like he wanted to beat like ZZ or whatever,
Yeah.
right?" And I'm like, "Yo, ZZ's playing. You want to join?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "Okay." But that's besides the conversation.
Yeah.
Just by like widening the hours that people can play in, which is like another problem. Just the planet Earth being
Round.
so spread
So
out. Yeah,
cringe.
so cringe, dude. Like, what if we just flat
Maybe
What
make
if
Earth
a
the
is
Earth
like,
was
circle. That'd
flat,
be
you know?
crazy.
what if the Earth? Maybe it should be hashtag flat Earth. So true. But nah, yeah, and so like if you increase the frequency of X rank cap tournaments and then maybe have like a up and coming I'm good but I'm bad type tournament system to complement it, you'll have like a more linear progression in terms of like the competitive scene. Because then you'll have like, okay, I'm a new player. I can either wait for a UC or I can go to TAWS, right, which is SS, and then I can just play that consistently. And then I can maybe we make like a low system, mid U rank system. Like, okay, I'll play another mid U rank system, and then you make a low X rank system where it's like, okay, that's still good. And then eventually, like, you get so good, it's just like, okay, now you have to play with everybody else. So like I didn't really like say that at the time because it was just a fresh idea off the top of the dome, like all of my
Yeah.
ideas. But for the most part, it's just about um having like having the convenience of having a small tournament with a high skill level and making it easier for Asian players to go play it out. Like that was my original position. And then of course the other point, which is like to supplement the people who won't be able to play, you make another tournament for low for top 3% of the game basically, if you really think about it.
So this is for now. It's more arguing for like more like a linear progression of rank caps.
We need
Yeah,
more ranks. Is honestly like I think the thing that we all agree on is we just need more things. Like X rank is too big.
Uh,
That's what I think.
I still
that's
kind
But
of
very
like
true.
I still kind of
if
hate rank caps. I
well
know they're
yeah,
like
rank
the
caps
most
are stupid.
practical thing, but like
They're stupid.
I don't know.
Shout
We
out
need geographical isolation. It's so true.
geographical isolationist tournament.
Very true.
Dude, shout outs to everybody who's won a rank cap tournament in the chat. That's what's up. Uh, but I think like imagine if Tetrio Cup didn't exist, and instead of every Tetrio Cup, there were only X rank cap tournaments. That's not a world I want to live in, you know? Cause like
Why not?
no, think about all the other events that happen nowadays. There's like one Tetrio Cup as the open tournament, and then what else has been open recently?
How
I'll
many
wait.
people have molded? Like, you know this firsthand. How many people have molded from getting beat by an X rank?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's character
I don't
building.
know. That's
That's
just like
not
that. You just
character
gotta.
building. That's just a lot. I understand it because I also like for one thing I can't really relate because I've been X rank my whole life basically. Um,
Okay.
and
No.
that's not a small flex. That's just like me entering the community really late. Um, but it's just like every time you hear it's just like, oh, I had to face Caboozled because I'm scene 257, right?
Yeah.
It's just like you can't. There won't be any more complainers on that end. You know, like people will, at the very least, like we really think that is character building, but a lot of people don't have character. You know, and that's just an unfortunate truth. Like people can't really take a loss without like
Yeah.
feeling completely destroyed. You know, then you get like shitty Ichilol tweets or something.
Okay.
Um, shout out Ichilol one time.
One
Okay.
time. Was he
Then
doing
you
it the
get shitty
second?
Ichilol tweets being
Okay.
like, "Oh, I saw Caboozle destroy this poor X-Rank." Oh, you know, you avoid that, and then
Wait,
if you
does that
just
avoid that? Isn't it just like I saw Caboozle destroying this poor X rank? Doesn't it like an
you
X rank
just
only
can't say
tournament?
that as much, you know, because that's just
Oh,
like the
okay.
1% eating the 1%, and we don't
Yeah.
care. We live in a
Okay.
hierarchical society, so true.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like you can't really make that argument anymore. And then more than that, it's like imagine like because Wrench always brings up this little like pity party point. It's like, well, I started off in Tetra Cup
I
one, okay?
did.
Where would I have been without
Yeah.
without the open nature of this tournament? And it's like, well, imagine, Rich, if you just played an open tournament, you didn't have to get beat up by a Modest Tomato, and then you would have been, I don't know, you could have won UC1. So true.
First of
Um,
all, no, I wouldn't have. Second of all, formative experiences. That's
Yeah.
what's up.
yeah, but first of all, you got an insane RNG by finding the most social, likable person of all time. That is very true.
Well, you know
Flushed.
what? Maybe Modest needs to join more tournaments.
Maybe we should create a Modest MK Ultra program.
You just like you just like you simulate you're a Tetrio Cup one, and then you just like Modest. You're seated against Modest in any tournament, and he'll always say like, "Hey, good set, King." Like, and then you're like,
Yeah,
"Yeah, I
you
feel
played
good now."
really good. Smile. He puts a thumbs up emoji, dude. Yo, I hate when Modest puts a thumbs up emoji. Makes me like makes me feel like I'm talking to like a 7-year-old woman, man. I don't know. It's just something about the thumbs up or like he puts like the finger pointing up or something, man. It just kills me, man. It just kills me. But it's the type of people we need.
Okay,
It's the type of people we need.
okay.
So, you know, you start a little MK Ultra, you put it on for one frame on your favorite TV show, you know, you put it on Euphoria, just picture a modest
Let's bring
and
it back a little. Let's bring it back a little. I think that like what Ren's is saying is not it's valuable, right? Like being able to interact with a higher level player is valuable. Um, Maybe tournaments aren't the only way to do that, but that's kind of the benefit of an open tournament. You get to really see like the difference between you and a better player. You can talk to the better player. It's kind of cringe on like an online tournament, I admit, because like there's not really an opportunity to, and they probably just want to get to their next match. But like you see
listen.
people in like I don't know, like a melee tournament, they go like, "Wow, I lost to this really good person. That's
Oh my god,
so
Mango,
sad." And
sign my underwear. Yeah, I get it. But like I get the perspective. Like I really
yeah,
do get like someone's position without context of me being like actually fuck all the lower ranked people and they can like you know
yeah,
without context that sounds really terrible. But what I'm trying to say is that I want a system that's like
like
more
a
fair. It's not more
yeah,
fair. It's more um tuned so people
yeah.
can still feel good about themselves at the end of the day, you know, which is very sad
Do you
because
know
the
like
tournament
the shogi
being the best.
are like I think like shogi tournaments are kind of like that, or like the shogi ranking system. It's like you like go to the next rank when you are like win a certain amount of tournaments. But then there it's
Really?
like I don't know. I just read out one like this Sangatsu no Lion. And it's like, yeah, you go up to the next rank. It's like, oh, that's nice. And then it's just
Yeah,
like
they have
people
rank
within the same rank.
capped.
Yeah, but I think like the benefit there is like because they're like actually professional players, right? So they earn more when they're like a higher when they are at a higher rank.
Dude, you get supporter. Dude, that's why we
Yeah.
need. Yo, this is like we should have like another a day of discussing this, dude. Just being like having like a fucking loot box system, dude. Just put
Yeah,
it
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
there, man.
Get him in.
Being like, yo, you just got U rank, get this cool Kagari spin the wheel. You know?
It's just like there's no incentive. There's still no like even if you add all these rank caps, there's not really an incentive to rank up. It doesn't really cure the problem that like the incentive to rank up should be like you want to improve, right? Like the ranking system in general, if it's that you want to win, like it's not really.
Well, just the ranking system in base by itself, like that's fine. Like, I mean, I think people still want to rank up. It's just like in the context of the community, your rank determines like who you fight sometimes, right? And like honestly, I'm like I'm kind of against rank cap tournaments too, not gonna lie. I'm like I'm actually really in favor of making every tournament open, honestly. Just like you just face who you have to face and you
Yeah,
just stop
but like I guess it's like a Pandora's box.
your
Like they
complaining.
made UC and it's like it's over. We can't do anything anymore.
And now we need to and now we create apartheid due to Caboozled Pie. So it's so sad.
Your
You
fault.
know?
Your
So
fault.
Cab, if you're listening,
The pure
so true.
white profile picture. We know.
Your wife profile picture.
We see that.
Hashtag hashtag I don't know.
It's our
I don't Hashtag expose the fake. So true. But yeah, for the most part, like this is pretty much like it is kind of UC's. UC is kind of a Pandora's box, and which is why I'm asking for the system. And more than that, it's just to
yeah.
give like have higher quality matches
Yeah.
in at least our tournaments where it's like most, not most, every lower ranked player, unless they have like an insane upset, won't even make it to stream and stuff, so people can see that. So
Yeah. It's just kind of like it's definitely just a culture thing. It's part of like kind of how the game works because of like it's really hard to beat someone even a little better than you. Um,
yeah.
just like
And like
upsets
even
don't really happen.
I was thinking about the when you were talking about the locals and stuff like that. There weren't any locals during the pandemic, right?
Yeah,
Was there rank cap tournaments in Melee? No, right?
No, I
there's
mean
like
they were still
one.
region locked.
No,
They were still
there's
region locked.
they were
They were
region
region
locked.
locked,
They were still region
but
locked because of there's like one like tournament that's like tired of going 0-2 like noobs only. Like it's still open, but what they did is they just disqualified you if you won. Like you're not
oh,
allowed to play anymore if you win. That's how they did the tournament. And there's also no
that's
prize money, right?
actually
There's like for there's a problem of or actually I don't think that is really they're also having like a problem to like their pros aren't really like their top players aren't competing, but that's relatable.
yeah.
So
But that's so true. You love to see other people suffering to cope with your own. Very true. Um,
but yeah, I
no,
don't
but
know.
but
I don't disagree
honestly,
with the system that you're proposing. I think it's pretty easy to see it like slippery slope. Like, okay, then like where do we start? Like we just need to tighten. What it does is it essentially tightens the population of people that you can play against. But like, when does that become like even like too tight? Because like once the game gets bigger, it's like oh, there's more people changing.
I mean, like hopefully as the game, hopefully first of all, hopefully there'll be more tournaments. But it's just like I don't know, man. This mentality that I can't play people who are way better than me has created this, and
We're just
I'm
living in it.
coping
We're just living in
I'm
it.
coping systematically with it. That's it. Like I wish we could live in a world where people would just play the game.
Yeah.
No matter what the no matter who the players are in the tournament, and like they concentrate less on winning and just playing it out and see how they do, you know. But that's just like not really a thing nowadays.
I think it would
Um,
definitely be better if it was like you were actually sitting next to the super high level players. Like, oh, it's a real person. It's like,
so true.
uh,
But you're sitting next to a virtual anime profile pic,
yeah.
which is way better. So true.
And here we
Yeah,
are.
I get to sit next to Marion Kitagawa right here on this Around the Vlog podcast. Isn't that
That's
so
yeah,
crazy?
exactly. Supremacy even.
You're sitting next to a smiley face.
Yep.
So true.
But yeah, I don't know. I think like the eventuality is that more like X rank only tournaments or more like these tournaments gated for good players will happen, but we need to like have the infrastructure to not like blow up the open tournament scene by doing that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think that's the problem is like it's everything is TL dependent, right? I wish it was more like based on tournament results or like you get ranks based on tournament results, right? Because then you have
Like if
incentive to
only.
play the tournaments. Um, like the
But yeah,
way,
but we had like a. I mean, we can make a ladder, and we actually in TTSD we did have one. It's just that
TL's just better. It's more
like
accurate,
tracking
unfortunately.
people is so sad. And more than that, like they literally took down Ben's list because of like players are having mental health problems. And I don't even know how that works.
Yeah, I don't
How
know.
can you get mental health
I,
problems
I think it's people
from
arguing about like it's not. I don't think it was that like I don't know how much it was like mental health problems. More like I won't actually comment. I don't really know.
yeah, like whatever it is, it's just like it's just a list. And people have done this for the Latam too. It's like you are the 50th ranked player in Latam. Why do you care? You know, and it's like that person didn't even make the list. So true.
Okay.
Um, that's besides the point. That's just a little roast. So true.
All right. All right. But yeah.
But yeah, it's just like I don't even know. Like even if we did that, people like you could see some people like just get toxic about where they are in the positionings and everything. But we should have a results based system. Uh,
Yeah.
but again, we need more tournaments for that, and also
The problem is there's too many things already in place for us to like implement more idea or systems that would be more optimized for getting people to enter tournaments and come out to tournaments and interact with the community. I think there are still a lot of just TL ghosts that just are really good at the game but only play TL. So
that's
I
just the
don't know.
Japanese players. Yo, also join Tetrio
What?
Doki Doki or something like
What?
that.
What?
What?
Uh, it's this. I left all my servers. I probably shouldn't have that one, but
Come.
it's this. It's like the Japanese Tetrio community.
That's cool.
Tetrio, and I think Whip Emerald is in it too, so it's getting a little bit of traction. It's called Tetrio. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know how to pronounce this. Tetrio, Papa Jods.
Can't
Well,
believe
if
they
you go on
got him in there.
Twitter, if you go on Twitter and look up at Tetrio underscore JP, like that's their community. I feel like there's a bunch of TL ghosts in there.
Yeah.
Like I'm seeing like people I've never seen in there before that are X ranks, and also like Tetriser. Like
Oh, is that
honestly, we should really, yeah, we should really be focusing on
ambassadors?
getting local tournaments on those scenes.
Grinding
Uh,
the Duolingo so that we can communicate with Tetris
so
players.
true. These like 10K hour languages, dude. We just
Just
we
grind them
just
out.
learn them.
Grind the
And by
Just
the time
grind
we
it
Japanese.
out.
return, the community's just dust, dude. So true. The great gap because we all went to study
Study
Japanese.
Japanese. No.
It's such
Oh,
a
we're
fucking
back.
funny
Oh, it's
reason.
over.
No. What? What do you mean?
No, Blink, you're still here. No, so true.
Are you studying
But
Japanese?
you're still playing. You're still playing tech at well.
All right.
Uh, but yeah,
I think that's a good spot to end. Yeah, I don't know. I think the other topic on here might have been if we were to start this, this would take too long as well.
There's a need.
That's
Who
all
wrote?
right. We can
Who
bring him
agrees with
back.
this? Who
It's all
agrees with
like the
this?
crack thing. That was me. That was me.
So true. All right. Well, I mean, if you guys ever want to have me back, I'm always
Yeah,
down.
for sure. Um,
Oh,
yeah, I think that's a good place to call it. Make sure you guys, thanks to everyone who's watching in stream. I think we interact with chat a decent a bit this one. It's already been an hour 20 as well, so I don't want to go too much longer.
Yeah.
So thanks to everyone watching live. Thanks for everyone watching on YouTube, and remember, we're also on
Check us out on
Spotify.
Spotify.
Thanks to
If
all
you're
the
listening on
Spotify.
Spotify, sound off.
Ah,
So
that's
true.
yeah.
get
This
the
alt.
low,
Get the it's bump up our Spotify numbers. They don't
Yeah,
do
put the
anything.
I don't know what
sound
they
low,
do.
then make it replay. So true. Hey, if Justin Bieber can do it, man, it's fair game. So
Fair
true.
game. Fair game. Yeah. All right.
See
See you,
you
everyone.
later.
Yep. See you guys later. Make sure to follow Team TSD too. No
Yeah,
shout
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
follow
Yeah.
Team Disney on Twitter.
Okay.
At Team TSD on Twitter.
All right. See you guys.
Such